My name's Stephen Morgan. I graduated class of 2008 studying product design with professional practice, and it was a BSc. Right now I work for upstreet events, and more specifically or more relevant would be new designers, organising the event and bringing all the universities down to show their amazing graduates. Originally primary school, loved to draw, started off with that. Thought that I'd be a fine artist when I hit secondary school, which was great, but as soon as I started playing around with mixed media and really getting to play with different, as I said, materials, and even more so on the computer, I thought that I'd actually be a graphic designer. So then I was all geared up and clued up to be a graphic designer until I went to Camberwell College of Arts to do my foundation year. And during that you get to try sculpture, illustration, printing, everything. And it was only from the fact of seeing something on paper that I've drawn and then actually making it in front of me that I found this, basically the transformation from sketch to actually tangible 3D product was really captured me. And so it was once I knew I had a passion for that, in my head I knew I had to go and study product design. When you're in the process of choosing what university you're going to go to, obviously you have to check them all out because you just have to. You have to get an informed decision. So I went to Nottingham, I went to Manchester. Remember, I live in London, so none of them were close by. And actually that kind of propelled me into looking for somewhere further afield because I didn't want to stay in London. So Manchester, Nottingham, Trent, Loughborough as well, and then Brighton. Now obviously I visited the first three, and you kind of just know when you get to somewhere. It's like, not that many of the guys watching this will know, but when you go to find a house and you're looking at a house, you'll just know when you walk into it. And it was very much the same for that with Brighton. I got down there, I saw, first off the university, obviously read about the course before I got there, otherwise there'd be no point in me going down there. So got down there, looked at the area, the course, the facilities, and I just thought, yeah, this will work. And I'm really glad that I did. When I first looked into the course, researched it, and I didn't know any of the course tutors, so I don't know what their teaching style was like. I didn't know, you get an idea of the modules, but you don't know exactly what they entail until you're there doing it. The thing that kind of really swung it for me was the fact that it was a BSc. Now, I haven't looked into many courses since 2008, because I've already done it, but most of the courses that I saw back then, especially to do with product design and 3D design, were mostly BA. Now, I'm not playing down a BA, BAs are perfect, excellent, but the BSc had a really good mix for me because from what I read and from what I understood, the BSc would give me a slightly more of a commercial edge. So it would still nurture and inspire my creative side, but really give me that solid scientific background on material science, commercial viability of products, that kind of technical side that, I don't know, back when I was looking for it, you didn't really get out of a BA. In terms of course tutors, it was really effective, really, because they had a different course. Obviously, they had a different tutor for a different module, but each one of the tutors were really well suited to what they were doing. So, we had more of the kind of straight to the, I don't know if he's there still more, but Steve Plummer, he used to teach us manufacturing processes, and he was kind of straight to the point, very scientific, and you got that through the way that he taught and what he was teaching about. And then you go all the way across the board to someone like Reza, who used to teach us our kind of rendering. And so he was more creative and he kind of got you to think in a different way. But again, that kind of mirrors and reflects what the course was to me, which was the fact that it had this, it kind of allowed me to use my left and my right side of my brain, which was something that I really was interested in. Obviously, with the course being a 4-year course, if you opt for a placement year in your 3rd year, the first 2 years give you kind of the first year is to give you a bit of an introduction to the uni. Yeah, that's the first thing. It's about knowing the course, knowing the people, where you want to move to. So your first year, it's not overly pressurised. Second year, you've got to be a little bit more focused, knuckle down a little bit more, and really understand where you're going with this. So you kind of understand what you've got to do. You've learnt the skills. So the 3rd year is kind of applying those in your placement year, and you actually work out that, hold on, if I go into work, I've actually got to do stuff here. I've got responsibility. So it kind of gives you a little bit of a wake-up call. But it's also a refreshing wake-up call before you then have to go into your final year, your 3rd year or 4th year, however you want to look at it, where you've got to not only apply the skills, but you've also got to get that attitude of, right, I've been here for 3 years, I've come here for a reason, so let's make the reason count and let's take out what we need to take out of it. The reason why I would recommend Brighton, obviously I've been there and I know what it's like. You can get a fantastic balance between, the course and your life as well. Now, I'm not trying to be sort of, big-headed here at all, but obviously I came out with a first, which was great, but I still had a really good time down in Brighton. It wasn't all work and no play, and it wasn't all play and no work. There was a fantastic balance. And I think the reason why Brighton swung it for me was also, we talked about the balance, so yeah, that's great. But more importantly, it was the actual course. So for me, it was that BSc. I needed that kind of tutoring with not only being creative, but also having that solid manufacturing processes, material sciences, that solid kind of like, numbers don't lie sort of thing. I needed that grounding. And as I said, with the BSc, having that commercial sort of side to things, that was really what inspired me to choose that course. Brighton it really is an amazing place. Lots of people say the Brighton bubble, because what happens is you study down there, and this is probably not what the parents are going to want to hear, but they study down there and they stay down there because it is such a fantastic place. Moreover, because you've got Sussex University down there with you and Brighton University. So when I was there was about 20,000 students within this area. So the whole town is geared up, for students. And obviously you've got the other universities, so you've got more students to kind of, go out and have a good time with after the work, obviously. When you go to university, obviously you're away from home, you're studying, and you've got to make sure you get that kind of work-life balance. It can't all be work and it can't all be, going out and having a good time. So I think at Brighton, you had the possibility and the potential to go out and have a really good time because it is a fantastic area. But also, with the course, what it was offering and what I wanted to achieve out of the course, that was also there for me on offer. So it did live up to expectations, and yeah, I wouldn't have really had it any other way.